So, welcome to Jumbo IS and welcome to our lecture series called Daily News in Shorts. In this lecture series, we cover that day's newspaper in a very short span of time within 20 minutes. So, we'll be covering August 5th, 2024's newspaper today. And the important news items that came in today's newspaper or the important topics that we need to discuss today are as following. So, here are our topics to be discussed. Today's topics. Number one, we'll talk about Amrut mission, Amrut 2.0. Amrut 1 was launched in 2015. It is a mission regarding urban rejuvenation. So you are actually building urban infrastructure. So its second phase has been launched. So we'll talk about Amrit 2.0. Then recently, Home Minister Amit Shah went to Chandigarh and he actually launched 4 apps which will help interoperable criminal justice system to work properly. Okay, so what is this interoperable criminal justice system? How it will enable the 3 new criminal laws, Bharatiya Nyaya Sahita, Bharatiya Sakshay Adhiniyam, and all these 3 criminal laws, how it will help in implementation of these 3 criminal laws, plus what is interoperable criminal justice system. We'll talk about this. Then recently, you all know about the natural disaster that took place in Wayanad, Kerala, right? Landslides, and more than 200 people have been confirmed dead. Now, search and rescue operations and search and rescue efforts are undergoing right now. Indian Army, to enable search and rescue operations, are using Bailey Bridge. Bailey Bridge helps in crossing rivers in a very quick fashion. So, what is this Bailey Bridge that is being used for search and rescue efforts? And this Bailey Bridge has been used by defense forces all over the world. So, we'll talk about this. And recently, Chief Justice of India D.Y. Chandrachud, in the recent case with respect to subclassification of SCs and STs, SC/ST list, gave an opinion regarding formal equality and substantive equality. So, we'll talk about Supreme Court and substantive equality. Okay, what is this concept of substantive equality all about? All right, so without further delay, without further ado, let's start with topic number 1, which is Amrut 2.0. Okay, so under Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation 2.0, that's the full form of Amrut. Atal Mission for Rejuvenation and Urban Transformation. Cities are likely to initiate projects worth 5,000 crore covering water supply, sewage treatment, rejuvenation of water bodies and parks. So basically, Amrut mission is for rejuvenation of urban areas. Okay, you're building urban infrastructure like water supply, sewage treatment plants, green parks, and all that. Now, its second version has started, and 5,000 crores have been allocated. 5,000 crore worth of projects underway. Now, Amrut 1 mission. The Amrut mission was launched on 25th June 2015, and 500 cities were selected. 500 cities were selected back then, which cover roughly about 60% of India's urban population. So 60% of India's urban population reside in these 500 cities. So government actually wanted to rejuvenate or retransform these 500 cities so that ease of living of its citizens, these urban citizens, gets enhanced. So to improve the ease of living of the people living in these urban areas, government launched Amrut 1.0. Now its period finished, Amrut 1.0, and that is why in 2021, 1st October 2021, government launched Amrut 2.0. And it launched Amrut 2.0 for 5 years between 2021-22 to 25-26. The basic aim of both these Amrut missions was enhance basic infrastructure and implement urban reforms in select Indian cities. Okay. Now let's gather some more information regarding Amrut 2.0. Okay. First of all, in the previous Amrut 1 mission, government aimed to provide universal water supply or universal coverage of water supply. That means every house, every human being living in those 500 cities should get access to basic drinking water. Now that was Amrut 1. In Amrut 2, government says that we are not just going to confine ourselves till these 500 cities, we are going to enhance our target and we are going to provide universal coverage of water supply to all 4,900 statutory towns. That means in India there are 4,900 urban areas, 4,900 cities in our country, and each and every city, not just these 500 cities, will get universal coverage of water supply. Then these 500 cities that were selected for Amrut mission would get sewage treatment plants for waste management, septage plants for waste management. Okay, plus this Amrut 2.0 would actually promote circular economy of water. Now, what is circular economy of water? First, you use water, then waste is generated, so you recycle that water and you use it again. refurbish, recycle. So water moves in a circular fashion. Okay, so we want to promote circular economy of water. We don't want to waste water. We actually want to use, reuse, recycle, and again use. Okay, for that, these 500 cities would prepare city water balance plans, which will enable circular economy of water. There are a few other points that you need to remember about Amrut 2.0 scheme, especially Amrut 2.0 scheme. First of all, to check the levels of or the availability of drinkable water, potable water. To check that, Pay Jal Survekshan shall be conducted. Survekshan means survey, and Payjal means potable water, drinkable water. So, drinkable water survey shall be conducted where all water bodies shall be mapped, where else we can get drinkable water for these urban areas. Because right now, as you have seen last year, various cities in India were facing shortages of water. For example, a few months back, Bangalore faced a huge shortage of water. Okay, so Payjal Survekshan shall be done where availability of water resources shall be first surveyed, and then water availability to each and every citizen, urban citizen, shall be made available. Okay. Then there is this technology submission for water to leverage the latest global technologies in the field of water. New technologies for water purification, water treatment shall be used, and innovative techniques, scientific techniques shall be looked into. Then information, education, and communication campaign to generate awareness among the masses that they shouldn't litter around, they shouldn't generate much waste, they shouldn't waste water, and all that stuff. Okay, so IEC campaign. Remember this term? IEC campaign is generally taken. IEC campaign is generally a part of almost every mission that Government of India undertakes, because awareness among masses is very important, or else no mission would get successful in India. You need people's participation, citizen participation. Okay, that's about it. That's all you need to know about Amrut 2.0. Now let's straight away jump to second, interoperable criminal justice system. Now we'll come to ICJS. What is interoperable criminal justice system? But first, let's take a look at what was in the news. So recently, Union Home Minister Amit Shah recently launched 4 newly developed national apps: E-Sakshay, Nyay Setu, Nyay Shruti, and E-Saman. We'll talk about what these apps do, what are the functions of these apps. But these apps were launched to make our criminal justice system more accessible using IT technologies. Okay, using computer technologies, internet technologies, we want to make our criminal justice system more accessible to citizens. Okay, for that, these 4 apps have been launched. All right. Now, as you guys all know, that Bharatiya Nyaya Sanhita, Bharatiya Sakshay Adhiniyam, okay, and other criminal procedure code, all these new laws that have come out, so to make them more their implementation more seamless, government has launched these apps. Now these 4 apps will support proper implementation of India's criminal justice system under the 3 new criminal laws. At Chandigarh Secretariat, the Home Minister was given live demonstration of various pillars of ICJS. Now, to understand what are the various pillars of ICJS, you need to know what ICJS is. Okay, so let's straight away jump to that. Now, basically, ICJS is a national platform for enabling integration of IT system, internet system for delivery of criminal justice system in our country. So, government wants to use IT system, information technology, computers, internet to deliver justice, or to smoothly run criminal justice system. Okay, now, while discussing the pillars of this, you'll understand what they mean by this. Okay. Now, this mission was launched by Home Ministry. Remember this. The budget for this mission was 3,375 crore. The period is 5 years. Okay. And it is going to be implemented by National Crime Records Bureau and for the IT infrastructure association with National Informatics Center. Okay. Now, what are the 5 pillars? And you'll understand that. First pillar is police, and police shall be supported by an online portal known as Crime and Criminal Tracking Network System. So the entire criminal information, crimes happening all over the country shall be tracked or listed on an online portal for police to refer from. Okay. Then there is this e-forensics. All the forensics labs in this country that investigate criminal cases, their data or their information shall be uploaded here. Then e-courts, to allow our judiciary take help from the online services that are available, e-courts. Then e-prosecute, for all the public prosecutors, those who prosecute criminals. Then e-prisons, to smoothly run our prisons using online platforms. For that, there are e-prisons. Okay, these are the 5 pillars of ICJS. Now, in the beginning, we talked about these 4 new apps, and these 4 new apps will definitely aid or help in the pillars of ICJS. Now, what do these 4 new apps do? So, first of all, e-Sakshay. Now, whenever a crime happens, police officers report to that site, go to that site and investigate. They record evidence. Now they can record evidence and upload on this online app called e-Sakshay. They can take photographs, they can record videos and upload here. Okay, using this, any police officer sitting away from the crime site can also investigate, looking at the evidences. Then there is this app called Nyay Setu. It is a unified legal interface for legal information. Whatever legal information you need any legal advice, you need any legal assistance, there is Nyay Setu for you. Then Nyay Shruti. Nyay Shruti would help in witness testimony. For example, if you are a witness in a crime, okay, and you need to go to a court to give your testimony, right? You don't need to go to the court physically now. You can give your testimony to the court using through video conferencing, also using this Nyay Shruti app. And e-summons. E-summons shall help in delivering court summons online. That court wants you to come to the court premises on this date. That is known as a summon. It can be delivered online also. So this is e-summon. Okay, that's about it. Now let's jump to third news item, which is Bailey Bridge in Wayanad. So what is Bailey Bridge? We'll talk about that. But first, let's talk about the context of this news. So deadly landslides that hit Kerala's Wayanad district on July 30 have led to the deaths of more than 219 people, and 206 people are still missing. And because of that, rescue and relief operations that soon began after the disaster struck are still underway. And various forces are implementing these rescue operations. For example, NDRF, National Disaster Relief Force, Coast Guard, Navy, Indian Army, they're all doing it. Now, at times while conducting rescue, relief, and rescue operations, you need bridges to cross certain rivers to actually help people on the other side of that river, right? Now, bridge construction takes a lot of time. That is why Indian Army's Madras Engineer Group actually built a Bailey Bridge. Bailey Bridge can be constructed quickly, assembled quickly, and disassembled quickly also, transported from one place to another. Okay, this would really speed up aid and rescue operations, this Bailey Bridge. Now, what is a Bailey Bridge? So basically, as you can see over here in the picture, Bailey Bridge is a type of modular bridge whose major components are pre-built. You just have to assemble them and put it across a river. Okay, minimal construction is required, minimal time is required to assemble these bridges. It was invented by an English civil engineer called Donald Coleman Bailey, hence the name Bailey Bridge. And he invented this bridge in World War II. He invented this for the use of English forces, Allied forces fighting against the Germans, Japanese, and Italians. Okay, in World War II. Now, the Bailey Bridge used in World War II was designed to be moved, rebuilt, and replaced in several hours, even under enemy fire. When the enemy is firing against you, you still can quickly assemble the bridge and lay it across a river, okay, or a crossing. Now, has this bridge ever been used by India? Of course. Though this bridge was invented by an Englishman, it was used by British Army, and British Army also controlled Indian Army at one point of time. So when India got independence, India continued this practice of using Bailey bridges. So Indian armed forces carried on British legacy. These bridges were used by Indian Army in 1971 war with Pakistan, Bangladesh Liberation War, right? These bridges have also been constructed at near border towns. In Arunachal Pradesh at the India-China border, it was also constructed during Uttarakhand floods. When Uttarakhand was hit by flash floods, for search and rescue operations, these bridges were built. So it has been, these types of bridges have been used in India and are in use in India for quite some time now. Okay, and last would be Supreme Court and substantive equality. Now, recently, Supreme Court gave a judgment and allowed sub-classification of SC/ST list. The name of the case, which was a 7-judge bench case, in which the majority opinion was 6:1, right? The name of that case is State of Punjab versus Davinder Singh, 2024. Okay. Now, in that, various judges, different judges gave their commentaries. So our Chief Justice of India, D.Y. Chandrachud, also gave his commentary, and in his commentary, he elaborated on the concept of substantive equality. Now, look, there are two things. As far as equality is concerned, everyone knows what equality is. There should be equality among citizens. But there are two concepts associated with equality. One is formal equality, the other is substantive equality. Now, formal equality means that every citizen in India should be dealt with equally, should be dealt, or each and every citizen in India is equal in the eyes of law, is equal in the eyes of the government. Okay, there would be no discrimination whatsoever. Okay, that is formal equality. So it is also known as procedural equality. All right. But there is this concept called substantive equality, which you should know. And Indian Constitution now actually strives to achieve this substantive equality. Substantive equality says that each and every citizen of India should be equal in the eyes of the law and should be equal in the eyes of the government. That's true. But some citizens are placed better or are better off than other citizens. Shouldn't the state help the worst citizens more than they help the citizens who are better placed? Shouldn't that be the case? Right? This picture would explain the concept of substantive equality in a more way. As you can see over here, these three people, over here, okay, have different heights. You can assume or you can use it as a metaphor that every citizen in India is dealt with different circumstances. Now, formal equality means that you give these tools to all these people. Okay? That is formal equality. Substantive equality means that the shortest person should get the longest tool or the highest tool. The tallest person should get no stool. This is the case of substantive equality, and this is the case of formal equality. Okay? And reservations in our constitution is an example of substantive equality. So certain caste groups have been dealt a very wrong hand by our history, by our previous generations, right? And their position is very weak. So state should make extra efforts. This is known as affirmative action. And one example of affirmative action is reservation, right? Now, many people who argue against reservation, they say that it is a violation of equality. Some people are getting bigger support from the government, and some people are getting no support from the government. This is against the principles of equality. But people have said, and this is what was said by our Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice, he says that it might look as a violation of equality, but it would be a violation of formal equality. It is not a violation of substantive equality. Equals should be treated equally, but unequals should be treated unequally. And that's our principle. So, this is what formal and substantive equality means. All right, that's about it. That's all you need to know. And with that, we conclude today's session. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. And I'm sure it added value to your preparation, though it would add more value if you are consistent and regular with this lecture series. So, make this lecture series a part of your daily routine, be consistent with it, and by the time you're ready for your exam, as far as current affairs are concerned, you wouldn't have to worry at all, but only if you're consistent with this lecture series. All right. So, about it, I'll be signing off on that note, and I'll see you next time with tomorrow's current affairs. Thank you, everyone.